Okay, moving on to the next tab, incident types. Incident types and checklist allows me to create custom incidents and checklist items for tracking any incident type that I choose. Out of the box, Optic comes with these different types of incidents for you to manage or edit, but just provides a template or framework to at least begin customizing it to how you want. Just like our units tab, just like our divisions and group tab, I have the ability to add a custom one here. I also have the ability to reorder my incident types. And up top here, I have the ability to default an incident type on my standby screen. So right now you can see it says none, and the user will have to select manually. So what this means is when they open the app, it's going to look just like this. So you're prompting them to pick the incident type they're going towards. If you are in a district or an area where it's mostly single family, mostly high-rise, commercial, etc., and you want to default that automatically, that's where you would set this here. So now you can see when it comes to the standby screen before an incident begins, it defaults to that single family fire. So now that we have single family fire defaulted, it gets a little star next to it, so you can see here, and that goes away if we just go back to here. Here's my incident types. Here's the custom one we added down at the bottom. Let's click on single family fire for now. What you'll notice on the right-hand side, I have a star with the number 4 next to it, and this number 13. The number 13 represents the number of items within that checklist, and this number 4 with the star next to it represents critical incident action items that you as the user or administrator have selected that you want to appear in the scoreboard area of the incident itself on the command board. So I'm going to open this up. We'll talk about the components here real quick. We'll look at how it translates to the command board itself. So I have the ability to edit the name. I can reorder my checklist items here. I can add checklist items. And just like everything else, it's going to go to the bottom. I can add a divider. So you'll notice this list is separated by tactical objectives and support services here. So if you wanted to separate lists visually on your command board, you can do that by adding a divider. You also have the option to duplicate an incident type. Let's say you have an incident type you want to create that's very similar to a single family fire. Instead of having to recreate all those components, you can just click duplicate, and you can see right here it's going to be a single family fire copy. And then you can just name it whatever you like, add, delete, remove, whatever you choose. For now, we're just going to delete this out right here at the bottom. When you're deleting an incident type, you're always going to get a destructive warning. So single family fire has these 4 critical incident action items noted. I can also rename any type of component of my checklist or delete them out individually. If you are creating incident action items that are critical, the important thing to remember is they're going to show up on the command board across the top in the order you star them. So I'm going to unstar these for a second. If I want 360, primary, secondary, and then water supply to be my order of priority that displays on my command board, that's how I'm going to click them. So let's see how that translates. So you can see on the top here, my critical action items for my incident are displayed here. When I go into notes, here's my checklist that we have created. As I check off items on here, it's going to translate to my scoreboard up here. So you notice in this incident type checklist, I have a Mayday checklist. That exists for 2 reasons. One, this is where you control what items go into your Mayday module. When you declare a Mayday on the fireground and you activate it on the command board, this is the checklist that will populate next to your notes on the command board itself. Also, this has the ability to star items as critical, because if you have a second iPad on the scene and you want to hand off Mayday operations or someone running the Mayday to that individual, they can actually run the Mayday as an incident on that iPad individually. So Mayday items here. Let's go back to an incident here. We'll add couple units here. So engine 1 has declared a mayday. And now we see our mayday is populated here. Here's where our checklist appears. You can still choose to run mayday as an incident type if you choose. Again, you're going to have your critical action items appear up here. So it just depends how you want to utilize mayday. So let's look at the custom one that we made earlier. So as I bring this up, blank canvas. From here, I can begin entering items that I choose to create my incident type checklist. Add a divider. And we'll create some critical incident action items. One thing to note is there is no maximum on critical incident action items. If you do put more than the screen can show, you can simply scroll across them at the top of the command board. So now let's exit out to our main screen. And here's our custom. And you can see here's our critical incident action items on top and our notes. And it's that simple to create incident checklists. So let's recap. We've now created units in the Units tab of the Settings menu. There, we were able to designate what units respond to what incident types. We've also created custom command board layouts or worksheets that help us manage incidents with preloaded groups and divisions. And now we have created custom incident types with incident checklists to help drive our tactical objectives for each incident type. This level of customization is where the true power of Optic Command Board lives, and also what helps incident commanders remain in control of their incident scenes.